لأن في قذائف جينا لهنا كيف إنه نحن قاعدين عم نستنى بس هذا يسقط بالشام مشان ننزل ومشتاقين له.
Currently, in the Middle East Eurasia region, we work in 14 countries. In the Balkans, we work in Bosnia-Herzegovina, Serbia, Montenegro, Kosovo, and Albania. In the Middle East, we work in Yemen, Egypt, occupied Palestinian territories, Jordan, Lebanon, and Iraq. In the Southern Caucasus, we work in Armenia, Georgia, and Azerbaijan. Children are growing up across this region in very politically unstable environments, from the legacies of the ethnic conflicts in the Balkans to the ongoing wars now in Iraq, Palestinian territories, Yemen, and now Syria. The conflicts that are still going on in Georgia around Nagorno-Karabakh, Abkhazia. This is the region with the largest population of refugees in the world. A second issue facing children is marginalization and poverty. Egypt alone has some 2 million street children. The Roma children in Albania and Kosovo in the Balkans are marginalized and living in the poorest communities there.
This place is nowhere. Even you can walk on the ground of this camp. It's dirty water, garbage everywhere. We have electricity everywhere you go. You don't have, the children don't have any place to play.
Where children have grown up with one war after another, the most urgent is protection, and protection from violence, particularly psychosocial support, opportunities to rebuild their resilience.
Parents and teachers think it's perfectly acceptable for violence to be part of the education system. And they even believe that physical punishment to children can actually help them learn.
And we know from all the work we've done around the world that, one, it's a violation of children's rights, and two, it's not effective. So we spend many hours, many days, in fact years in Yemen, retraining teachers on other forms of discipline. And we teach children in Yemen, for example, the Children's Parliament, that in fact they have a right to be free from corporal punishment.
The children, not only in the OPT, in many parts of the world, are the first victim of any disaster, either it is man-made or natural.
We have been working with the Syrian children arriving to Lebanon since last summer, since summer 2011. It's not easy to cross the borders, not knowing whether you will make it or not. You might need to be looking for a new house, a new school. You have no friends. You have a brother staying behind. Your father, you don't know where he is at the moment. There is a big role on the team on the field to work with these children. That's why we have a lot of social workers, we have psychologists working with the children.
had one of the best education systems in the entire region. Today it has one of the worst education systems, so that grandparents are better educated than their grandchildren.
There are huge parts of the population which cannot participate in society. They face a huge amount of discrimination. They're not treated equally in schools. Other parents pull their children out of school if Roma children are actually participating in the class.
I'm happy that we have been able to challenge these attitudes and perceptions and to say, look, it is not normal that children work. It is not normal that children are out of the school.
There was malnutrition in Yemen before the beginning of 2011, but now after several studies by UNICEF and also the World Food Program, it's clear that the levels of malnutrition and food insecurity, where you just don't have enough to eat at night, are at the level of places like Afghanistan or Somalia, where you've had conflict for decades.
We support the children with nutrition, food, in addition to that, medical equipments like wheelchairs, hearing aids.
We have worked in 260 rural communities in the country, trying to help them get access to quality rural health services, because in rural areas the health post is sometimes the only place that people can get the first aid and the primary health care.
Having positive alternatives and being part of the decision-making on who you are, what you want, and how you're going to make it happen is extremely critical.
We've actually been able to work with children, with young people, and work with them to understand their own rights, to articulate their own needs, and have them approach the parliaments in both countries.
In fact, the Children's Parliament just elected new members in Yemen. They're between the age of 12 and 16. Dynamic kids from all over the country. For 2 years, they'll talk about issues of interest to children. For example, the fact that they have a right to be free from being recruited into militia. They have a right to education, development, participation. They actually meet with the Prime Minister. They meet with parliamentarians. Some of the girls are going to work on trying to get the marriage age raised, the minimum age raised to 18.
Now is the time to help young people build on their demand for change.
What we'd like to be known for is the organization in Yemen that not only enhances the public discourse about child rights, but we live it and breathe it and make it real in every part of society, starting in the most remote villages to every speech the Prime Minister gives.
We think that the investment in the OPT is more important than ever.
Our mission is not yet accomplished for children in Iraq. As I said, it's one of the richest countries in the world. It is not yet able to provide all the protection, education, healthcare, and life opportunities for its young people.
Last year, throughout this region, Save the Children agencies working independently reached 40 million people across the region. Now that we're joined together in Save the Children International, the opportunity to double or triple that very soon is actually within our reach.